Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my Upgrade movie review. So I'm a little bit late on this movie. I just saw it maybe a couple hours ago in a small theater close to where I live, and I'd heard a little bit of hype about this movie. I actually wasn't sure when it was coming out. I saw a preview for it a couple months back. I saw one trailer for it, and it was, I don't know, it was in front of another movie, and that was all the marketing. I I really love this movie a lot, man. It's amazing. I don't know what the budget was. It's not posted yet on Box Office Mojo, but it's a sad thing. This movie's barely made just under $6 million. I think this movie should make over $100 million. I really love this movie, man. This is great sci-fi. It's not 100% original. It reminds me of a book called The Terminal Man by Michael Crichton, and it's a bit predictable, but you love this guy. Well, this movie was directed by Lai Whannell. Whannell. I'm not sure if I'm probably butchered that name. And it stars this guy Logan Marshall Green. This dude is a dead ringer for Tom Hardy. But he was great in this movie, man. He is a really good actor. I really want to see more from him. This story, I'm gonna try to stay away from spoilers, but it's about a guy who gets paralyzed in an accident, and some dude finds him one day and says, I can cure you by implanting this thing in your neck. But then that thing starts to talk to him, and he finds out that it can take over his body. Some people try and hurt him, and all of a sudden he knows to do all this like kung fu stuff, and it's fantastic sci-fi, man. It's got a little bit of horror elements. Again, it's the guy who did Saw, and I think this is a Blumhouse, if I'm not mistaken, which is a studio that does really small films. But like, this movie was way better than Solo, and Solo they probably threw $300 million in the trash. I really like this guy, man. There's one scene, oh my god, where this dude is just realizing what his life has become when he's paralyzed, and I got really emotional. I was like, wow. The other characters, they're fine. No one really is too much of a standout. It's his story. It's about him. Some people want to complain about, like, oh, they're not fully fleshed out. I'm like, well, you want to flesh out every character with a $5 million budget or whatever it is. It's fine. It's fine for what it is. I thought it was. This is an excellent film. If I had to describe this movie in one word, it would be, what would it be? It would be noteworthy. It's noteworthy to see what you can do with just a couple $1 million, small budget, when you can execute. What is most fascinating about this is I'm actually interested in this world, and I am a guy that does not like the kind of cyberpunk stuff. I do not like Blade Runner. I didn't like the first one. I found it incredibly boring, and I didn't like the second one. Because I feel like it just was like they were trying to paint a beautiful picture. It was a beautiful movie, but there was nothing there. It was boring. There's no action. This is kind of that whole cyberpunk thing, and the idea, like, in this world, people upgrade themselves. They upgrade themselves constantly, and this character, he's a down-to-earth, old-school dude. It's filmed in L.A., by the way. I know that bridge where they were filming around. He's the kind of guy, I don't know how far in the future it is, but probably not too distant future. He still likes to work on, like, Thunderbird, a Thunderbird from, like, the 1980s, and he's one of the few guys who has those skills, and he was one of these workers who was displaced by machines or by AI, and but fortunately he's married to this very educated lady, and he's a blue-collar guy, right? And there's not a lot of people like him left, and those who can afford it, they all upgrade themselves, and he's still 100% human, and so that does come into play. I won't say I saw everything coming. Most of the big plot points, I kind of saw them coming, but it was okay because the ride was so fun that I didn't mind. And I was really rooting for this guy. And even at the end, there was a little twist that I didn't see, except for just right before. I was like, oh, I think I know what's happening, and then boom, right after that, I was like, okay, I'm right. But I highly recommend you go see this film. Please go see this film. Smaller movies like this really deserve attention. I want to see more movies. And I want to see more this guy in more movies, and I want to see more movies in this universe, in this world. This world is interesting. It's very interesting. I want to see what can happen. Like, what if there's these two different companies? What if they have some kind of a war with each other, or maybe someone else has a story. We don't necessarily have to keep following this guy, but this world is really interesting. Oh my God, there's one scene where like, where it's like, you sort of, once you start to like, it's kind of like with the internet, and how people go, they call it going dark now. How much almost like a slave you become of your own device, of your own electronic devices and your own technology, and you do that willingly. These are questions that this movie raises. Again, Logan Marshall Green, Leigh Whannell is the writer and director, and I heard James Wan may have had something to do with this. I don't know, but please go see this movie. It's a very noteworthy film. Bigger movies, take note. You don't have to be a huge IP or something to be a good movie. I want this movie to do well. The only reason I'm not going to score it in the 90s is because it was a little predictable and it was a little Terminal Man-ish. So it wasn't 100% original, but it's not an IP, it's not a remake, so in that sense it's original. The concept, again, is not original, but they do it in kind of an original way. I've never seen this exact story. I've never heard this exact story. I've heard similar ideas. This was their kind of playing with that. It's kind of like a new pirate movie comes out that's not Pirates of the Caribbean, but I mean, maybe not even that on that level. Please go see this movie. I'm going to give this movie an 86 on the Star Strider scale. So go check it out. Again, the movie's called Upgrade. You will not regret it. Alright, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Alright, bye.